Well, good morning to your Miracle Minute. I hope you enjoy the sitar Indian music in the background because I feel like that the information I'm getting is coming from an Indian influence. And what I'm doing is not that mysterious or hard to do. If you'd like me to make a YouTube on how to do this and how it happens, I think that's really important. How does it happen? Just leave a note below. Just a few things to cover before we start. I get paid from YouTube according to how many subscriptions I have, and I need some new camera equipment. So if you would kindly subscribe below up in the corner, that would help me along in getting some really cool jazzy equipment. Plus, I have some wonderful things to bring you in the future. I get these things all the time, and I want to work with it. It's part of my own personal journey. Well, here we have a prediction. I timestamp everything. This came in around July 5th. And this dream was so strong. I had considered moving up to Los Angeles for personal reasons, but as I had this vision for a couple nights in a row, I decided to forego the whole idea. Mind you, I don't think this earthquake is going to be, it's not going to end the world or anything. But what happens during an earthquake in a densely populated area is roads are broken up and supplies cannot get in. Most cities have maybe a 3-day supply of groceries, and so when there is something that cuts off communications for a long period of time, say roads are out and there's no delivery, you starve, you know. So, and that's probably going to happen. I don't think it's like where there's great loss of life or anything. This blue line is one that I drew. The red line is a picture of the St. Andreas Fault. And apparently, this is a really active area. I'm kind of new to California, and I knew there was St. Andreas Fault, but I had to look it up. And when I saw it, I knew that was it was really in the lower part of LA down towards Orange County. But remind you, people aren't falling into the ocean or anything. It's just no fun and no supplies and no food, which is no fun. This is posted on July 19th, and I've explained to you in previous miracle minutes, that these things are timestamps from Facebook, and I've invited you guys, anybody out there wants to join the Facebook group Psychic Predictions for the World, and make your own entries, please. I want it to be a group learning experience. A question if anybody knows the name of that billionaire that was running a lot of anti-Trump ads at the beginning of this year. I would like to know his name. I got a prediction on him. The other thing down in this post, actually, I had this back at the very beginning of the year, and towards the end of 2017, with some other things. India has bad flooding. Now, India is prone to flooding, but this is a little over the top for these darling people. And my feeling was, as much as I love the Indian people, they have incurred some bad karma for the way they treat, let's call them, the widowed mothers of the poor, of the very poor. And if you know anything about it, that's that this, I guess it was karma, karmic payback, sadly, because overall Indians are beautiful people. So here's some pictures of the towns and cities that were flooded, and this is a bad flood. Here is more of this devastation. I don't think they will have as bad as floods next year, but they are in for political turmoil with Pakistan and China. They've had some good things in their country that will turn around their karma for the widowed mothers. That they started to do some things that were very, very good for the poor people. It lets you know that they are very ahead as far as progressive thinking. Um, this is something that came in pretty strongly. I have a time stated for July the actually July the 5th was when I time stamped it. And you can see that I write these things down really fast so I don't forget them. I saw a picture of Mitch McConnell, Pence, and Paul Ryan. And then some pictures came out and cut like you would a cardboard, cut around the cardboard um, figures or the picture of these three fellows, and Ryan fell out. He went boom, and even dust came up from the ground where he fell out. Now he is going to drop out of politics, so I think he might be getting out while the getting is good. Oh, sorry, my camera was still running. I was trying to line it up so that Ryan would be. I drew a little line around this picture where I saw him being cut out. He was the cutout image fell to the floor. Yeah, just a reminder. I need some new equipment. I want to bring more of these. Also, how to do this. This is not mysterious. This is part of our new age. This was posted in the Facebook group. Um, I asked the participants in the group to whether they felt like there would be any more hurricanes this year, and everybody said no. Isn't that funny? I said, hey, it's okay. You could be wrong. Say whatever. You know, you can say your vision is that you looked out the window and pigs are flying. Just just get used to the process of writing things down. But everybody there saw no hurricanes. The only thing that we've had in the United States is a very bad tropical storm in Hawaii, but not like last year. So it's easy to start seeing the future. It's part of the new Aquarian age we're moving into, where these things will be common to know these things. This is time stamped July 7th. It's kind of in the fun category. It makes us all dream of such exciting things. Um, in the Alamo, or near it, I feel like it's buried under the ground, an old silver box of deeds. It points out that Texas sold the land that belonged to the Mexicans. Well, we already know that as part of our history. We steal land from other people, and then we stop them from trying to come back into the land. It's just, you know, it's just what we do. So, uh, but wouldn't that be fun to find a treasure? Everybody wants to find a treasure box. This is time stamped July 26th. I hope I was right on this one. I may have been off in fantasy land. I saw the Ring of Fire, and I had several things of that, and it ran this the Ring of Fire does run along the entire west coast of South America. I feel like there's an earthquake there in Chile or Peru, and when the some of the it's more like landslides, which we're going to have in Northern California. I haven't had time to write that down, but we're going to have landslides, um, kind of by the ocean, where all those fires where there'll be rock and soil, but there's landslides here, or the earth opens up, and what do we find? Gold. Now that sure sounds like fun, a cold rush. I've gotten the Ring of Fire several times, and this is kind of a hot spot in our geography, and that's why we've got to start being kinder to the earth. My God, we have this insane Ring of Fire. It goes up here, in between China and Japan, down along the west coast, and Middle America, places that are really, really fragile. And this is Peru and Chile. This is where I saw the earthquakes happening kind of in the lower three-fourths of the continent. Now, where I really saw in a vision, I saw between Japan and China. These are my lines. I tried making a yellow line, then I tried making a black line. In between the trench here's Japan. In between a trench here, there's a big earthquake. Um, I fear that this is where there's going to be some unhappy death and destruction, whereas the California one won't be. It'll be bad because it's in populated areas, but not like this. This is they should call this Tsunami Alley. Face it, you probably never heard the word tsunami before the year 2000. And that's because we are wrecking our planet and we're having bigger, badder storms. And a tsunami is bigger than we're used to, so we have a new name, a tsunami. So we don't need to increase our vocabulary that much for such destructive experiences. Now, this is one that I talked back and forth with one of the people on the psychic predictions for the world, and this is in the spring of this year. I found myself, when you do this method, you find yourself in different places, like astral travel. But mind you, it is not weird or bizarre. You find out that you've been doing it all the time. I felt like I was on a beach in Ocean City, Maryland. And mind you, what a dreamland that the beaches along the middle of the Atlantic coast are. The, the, the water is beautiful. Big waves, it's a blast. And warm water. So I found myself standing on a beach, and I could feel the wonderful waves coming up around me. It's just so beautiful. If you've never been to Ocean City or some of the beach towns along the Atlantic coast, please go. It's so beautiful, and I'm very familiar with this area because I'm originally from Maryland. And believe me, where do you think teenagers were the first thing they could get away from school? Ocean City, and places up and down the Atlantic coast. And I felt like I was standing there and enjoying it, and I felt like I was going to get sick. And the message was people will start getting sick by the ocean of both coasts. And I featured that as well in the last Miracle Minute. And I have that recorded in psychic predictions for the world because I talk back and forth with different people. And look what's happened along the West Coast and East Coast, down in Florida. And I really got a lot on the beaches and the water. And what was my playland as a little girl, and also Florida. is wrecked. It's a tragedy. So I went over that a lot, and I had been getting so much on the Florida situation since the beginning of this year. If you've watched any of my YouTubes, and now the Atlantic beaches, and this is what I got so very long ago. Something's wrong with the water, and this is called sea lice. What's next, huh? You know, a sea lice infestation. How creepy. So I'll give you another shot of this wonderland for everybody. Like imagine a little sea town like this. You want to stay there forever, and that's what's happened up and down the Atlantic coast. And believe me, I've gotten this all year long in different posts. That's why I want other people to be doing this because it helps you in your personal life. You will note that I am not living in LA. Well, I've got some more on Trump, Mueller, and the rest of the gang in Washington. What the gang is up to in Washington? I remember Little Rascals from the I guess the 40s, and that's what it reminds me of. They're just into everything, aren't they? And I've gotten a lot on that, but I have to wrap this up and stay tuned. There's more coming. Please subscribe so I can buy some new equipment and have more fun and explore this phenomena. It's been a phenomena. I understand it more now. I bid you adieu. There'll be a little. I don't know if I turned the camera off again. That's a problem. I need some new equipment. There'll be a subscribe button down to your right. Press that and subscribe. Sahara needs some new equipment. I want to play around. I want to play. This is playland for me, and Dreamland is playland for me. So please subscribe, and that way you'll know when the next mini minute comes out. And until then, sweet dreams to you.